Welcome back to House Smarts Radio. All right, new year, you've got all these plans, right? And you're thinking about all the different things you're going to do in the new year, right? You're going to lose some weight, and you're going to buy a new car, and you're going to stop, drinking so much diet soda. I mean, those are all good things, right? And maybe on your list of things to do is to get organized too, right? We all have too much stuff. You've heard me talk about it. When we moved last year, I couldn't believe the amount of stuff that we had accumulated over the past 22 years. But sometimes it can be overwhelming and you just don't know where to start. Maybe some professional help is what you need. Joining me on the phone line is Jamie Martin, who is a professional organizer and product consultant with the Chicago Organizer. Jamie, good morning and welcome to House Smarts Radio.
Good morning, Lou.
You've been doing this for quite some time, right?
20 years.
Wow. I have to imagine that the biggest thing for people is that it's just overwhelming, right? You just don't know where to start, and you folks can come in and sort of create a roadmap of how to maybe get better organized and declutter and actually help physically with the work as well, correct?
You are right. That's usually the breaking point for most people is they're so overwhelmed they don't know where to start. I like to consider us personal trainers for organizing.
That's good.
It's not our stuff, so we are not attached to it. We don't have any preconceived notions about how the house has operated or the office has operated, and so we can come in with fresh eyes and then help guide the client to just focusing on what we're working on right now and not thinking about the big picture. Oh my gosh, there's so much, we'll never get through it. That's, our specialty. We'll get us through it. And then we do work hands-on, side-by-side with our clients. They get the best results if they're heavily involved in the process, because then we can customize the solution to how they think and how they operate in those rooms.
So it isn't just about you have 49 different sweaters, right? And let's donate those, or I'm assuming that there's a combination of throwing things away and donating, but you'll actually help to reorganize the house even with concepts of physical things that'll help stay more organized, right? Whether it's cabinetry or totes or things like that.
Oh, absolutely. Sorting and purging is the first few steps. Usually when we sort, it makes it easier to purge because I like to use clothes as an example. People don't know they have 30 pairs of jeans, and so we pull them out from all the different places they're hiding. And then they're like, oh, I hate that pair. Those don't fit. Those are ripped. And so then all of a sudden the decision-making becomes a little easier. And so we keep doing that through the whole space. And then once we see what we have left, then we organize it for you back into your dresser, your closet, your cabinet. And if we need storage devices and tools to make it easier so that it's easier to maintain, then we absolutely will make our recommendations for that, write up a list, help you purchase those items, and then organize the stuff back into the new containers or whatever it is that's required.
I have to imagine that having someone that's not attached to all that stuff. I mean, you talk about personal trainers, but there's probably a little bit of therapy that goes on in trying to decide what to keep and what not to keep.
I tell my clients I'm not a therapist, but I play when it works.
Talk to me a little bit about decluttering for the sale of a home, because I have to imagine that you do that as well, right? Many times realtors will come in and say, wow, you've got so much stuff, the house looks so small. Is that part of your service as well? If somebody was thinking about selling a home, that they could hire you to come in and thin some things out?
Yes, definitely. So we can work with people. It's a slightly different process, but again, it's the sorting and purging. We may be, as we're finding things we want to keep to move, but we don't need them right now, then we pack that up so that it can be staged in a closet or in a basement or in a garage so that the house looks more clear. Now, for example, if somebody was getting their house ready for sale, we could put Christmas things in the garage because we don't need that before we move. So we just try to keep the necessities out. Then we can help with tidying up closets so that it makes it look like it's way more spacious than how you're living day to day. We do a little bit of staging on a budget is what I like to call it. So we're not doing full-scale staging where we're recommending purchase of furniture and artwork and painting walls, but we can rework closets and cabinets and the layout of the furniture a little bit to make it look more appealing to the future buyer. And then on the other,
go ahead. No, keep going.
I was just going to say, once the client has sold the house too, then the other service we offer, which is invaluable, is unpacking and organizing. So I can bring in a team of 4 or 5 people, depending on the size of the home, and we can unpack and organize the key areas or everything, whatever the client wants. We can do it in a couple of days.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a smaller places we can do it in a day, and people can be up and running. Usually we start with the kitchen and the master bedroom, kids' toys, and crank out those areas, because once those areas are working, at least you feel like you can function.
Wow, that's awesome. That would be a terrific, in particular, if people are, as you mentioned, downsizing, it can be overwhelming if it's just 1 or 2 people trying to do that all on their own. Does it start with a phone conversation, Jamie? I mean, if somebody, is listening to this conversation, do you have a phone conversation and kind of get a lay of the land or what people are looking for?
Yes. A lot of people will reach out to me via my website, because there's a contact page and you can fill out a little form that tells me a little bit about what you're looking for.
Okay.
But the real kickoff is about a 15 or 20 minute phone conversation where we walk through what your pain points are, what your goals are. I tell them a little bit about the process, kind of like what I've already shared with you, so that we can see if we're a good fit for each other. Every client isn't necessarily right for us, and I don't want to take a job on that we can't do justice to. So we like to do a little vetting there. And then if everybody feels comfortable, then we schedule that first appointment.
Right. I would think that what people would be the most nervous about, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but it's like, oh my gosh, I have so much stuff. I don't want people coming in here judging me. There's no judging, is there, Jamie? Absolutely
not. I have some clients who are very concerned about, us seeing it. And I often ask them to text me pictures ahead of time, just so we have a sense of the level of the clutter. Sometimes people would like to have a ballpark. How many hours do you think it's going to take? Well, it's hard to say without seeing it.
Sure.
And so sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to show you. I'm like, hey, if you're going to hire us, we're going to see it eventually.
Right.
And believe me, this is not going to be the worst we've seen. So fear not.
I like that. You've got a good attitude. All right. If people want some help of getting their life organized, or they've got to declutter, or maybe they've, putting a house up for sale and could use some professional help like yours, how do they get a hold of you?
So the website is a great place to start, because there's a lot of information and frequently asked questions, and it's chicago-organizer.com. And then the phone number is 331-217-4999.
That's great. Jamie Martin, professional organizer and product consultant with the Chicago Organizer. You can go to their website if you'd like to learn more about their services. I spent a little time on your website, a lot of great information there, and sometimes a little bit of help and a little nudge in the right direction can make a huge difference in your life, and a great resolution for 2025. I really appreciate you taking the time this morning, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Lou. It was great talking to you.
You're listening to House Smarts Radio with me, Lou Manfredini.